Welcome to Crypto Confidential, the first food and Web3 talk show. Presented by Crypto Chef Giorgio.
Hi guys, and thank you for coming. It's great to have you here. I'm thrilled to start your interview, but before starting, something very important. What I'm going to cook. So for UDG, I choose this dish that is a beef tataki, in a Shanghainese version, so a little bit spicy with some garlic, and as a side, some zucchini, dried tomato, and onion. So I hope you could have the opportunity to try at home, and maybe you can follow me while I'm preparing. But now I'm very curious about you, so I want to ask something about you, your background. So because your resume reads like DeFi BD Hall of Fame, Autoshark, Meter, Summer Money. Would you like to tell us something about it?
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, thank you, Giorgio, for having me here today. Unfortunately, I didn't have the chance to attend in person. Otherwise, I would have loved to taste what you're cooking today. But so we are.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. I'm sure we can do a follow-up with another recipe. So yes, I've been working in crypto for several years now, since essentially 2021, and that's since when I worked in crypto, even before I was a user, first of all. And I think seeing both sides of the trenches, let's say, both as a user and as internally as part of several protocols, especially in roles that were all like growth-oriented, managing-oriented, helped me a lot to understand better this market, the products that work in this market, what doesn't work, and what the users want. Again, I think I brought home something different from every of my experience. Autoshark was my first experience, and I think what really taught me was essentially what's the actual potential of a product that users want. Autoshark is not an active product anymore. However, it scaled up to 200 million in TVL because it introduced something new. It was 2021. It was a peak of BSC seasons. Back then, we were all trading on BSC. Ethereum was too expensive. There wasn't Solana. There weren't other alternative chains. So all the actions was happening there, and we had like copy paste after copy paste after copy paste of all the same products. So what Autoshark did is trying to do something new, and it was a huge success until it lasted. Afterwards, it was like the bear market started. It was a small team, etc. So things didn't end up well. But that's the story of a lot of projects. On the other hand, so Autoshark, I would say, taught me how to grow and what users actually want, and what's the potential of a project when it focuses on what users want. Because a lot of projects are building for building, not building what is actually wanted by users. Meter and Summer Money are broader protocols, we could say, because the theme is partially the same for both protocols. Meter is an EVM L1, and Summer Money is essentially a synthetic CDP protocol. What it taught me is to work on the long-term vision instead of focusing on the short term only. Meter and Summer Money had a much longer time horizon vision. Summer Protocol was basically unknown for months before actually starting to scaling. When they started actually delivering on what were the core parts of the protocol, it scaled very quickly. It attracted a lot of liquidity, and even though now I'm not in the team anymore, so I don't know exactly, I'm not up to date to the very last things they're doing, Last thing I watched, it was another protocol that hit past 100 million TVL. I would say that aside from being part of these teams, maybe the most precious experience that you can do as a builder in crypto is to be a user, first of all. Use the protocols, use the products, trade on chain. A lot of people are Web 2 only people that are essentially tourists in crypto. They do not know actually anything about the industry. They never try the products. They just read about it and they think they can translate the skills or the knowledge that they have from other experiences directly in crypto. Now, this is true up to a certain extent. Yeah, sorry, Giorgio.
I think there is also another point that both crypto markets are very different. So the logic are different. There are narratives, there are seasons for this, for the other stuff, and so. And the other point is that is fucking complicated. So you have to be a nerd in order to use crypto, in order to trade them. Now I think it's better, slightly better, but it's more complicated rather than trading ETF or stocks.
That is true. Although I would say that it's also because we can do a lot more stuff than what we can do from our bank account in TradFi. Bank account in TradFi, you open, you log in, you can buy stocks, you can buy some ETFs, and that's about it. Lending, borrowing, leverage trading, swapping, launching a meme coin, all of this you cannot do from your TradFi profile. So the UX bar is higher also because we can do so much more stuff. And I would say that it's already coming close. It's just that we have these expectations that it needs to be, let's say, normie friendly from day one. That should still be a target. But realistically speaking, finance is never going to be like tying your shoes. And it's not supposed to be tying your shoes because people should be aware of what they're doing. People should be aware of the risk they're taking. So my idea is that it needs to be as user-friendly as possible, given the nature of the product. Gamifying is good, etc. But it should never reach to the point where it's basically targeting users that will be unaware of what they're actually doing with their money.
Great. So both working in crypto, you learned a lot of stuff, but also as a user.
Yes.
So can you tell me what is the best things you learned as a user? Maybe some mistake or something that brought you the idea of Shift.
Sure. Well, if I had to list all the mistakes I did as a user, you probably have enough time to cook for a full wedding.
Yeah, no, maybe just some turning point.
Yes. The turning point is that what actually brought us to found Shift, let's say, is that one of the main products of crypto is yield. We're all here to make money. We're all here to trade. However, not everybody and everybody actually is not comfortable with trading with all of their money, right? We're also looking for yield products to park our stablecoins, to earn some money. We don't have to risk it all, let's say, every time. And there are strategies there are products you can deposit your stablecoins in to earn some yield. But the easiest strategies, sometimes they have good yield, sometimes they don't. It depends on how heated the market is. Most of the good strategies are required to automate. They're required to put together a lot of stuff, to pay attention, to monitor the risk, etc. And this is something that is very, very complicated for the average user. So this led us to automate some of this stuff for ourselves as users in first place. And at some point, we just realized that this is not only an opportunity for ourselves, but we can open up this thing and make it become something bigger. Why sharing this? So a lot of the time, the question that we get is, why, if these strategies are so good, why are you sharing them? This is a very legitimate question. Normally, you wouldn't share this. strategies. The core issue is that we're simply poor enough to share the strategies. What does this mean? This means essentially that we do not have ourselves internally the capital to exhaust the alpha that is in these strategies. So for us, the best interest is to allocate our whole internal capital into these strategies, but there is still more room to accept external capital and make it become something bigger than that.
Okay, just a second, because I'm smelling that we are going deep down into the protocol and the strategy and everything behind it. I just want to show you what I'm preparing.
Oh, nice.
I prepared here the side dish. So some zucchini and onion, tiny sliced. Then I will marinate them with the sauce, Chinese sauce, made with garlic, finely chopped, and this mix of spicy. There is chili, there is fennel, cumin, and it's very, very tasty. And I will add some soy sauce, light soy sauce.
Oh,
and
nice. I have the very same soy sauce, I think.
Yeah, and I will cook here some extra virgin olive oil at a point of smoke, and then I will pour into the bowl with the garlic and the spices in order to slightly cook them. So that will be, in the end, very smelly and delicious sauce for our side, and so I hope you will like it if you wanted to make it. And while I'm going on, maybe you want to start and continue your
Yes, sure.
story.
Sure. So we were talking about how basically Shift is a yield platform that we initially.
Yes. So
yes.
I'm sorry I interrupted you, because you said why sharing those good strategies if you had it, because you are poor enough not to have enough capital to use or to saturate the market with this.
Exactly.
So it's good to have some users to help you.
Yes.
And then you will earn some fees, I think.
Yes.
In order to justify your work, and it's a win-win project.
Exactly.
Right?
Pretty much.
Okay, great.
So yeah, here I can a little bit maybe skip through. There are millions in safe market neutral yield. As we said, there are a lot of yield opportunities. Some easier, some not easier. The easy one can be done by the users themselves. For the harder one, it's hard for the average users to reach them, because it needs automation, it needs automated risk management, it needs a lot of complexity, even some developing skills. This is clearly not at reach for the average user. The fields are either too risky or too complex, as we said. There are also easy solutions. Nowadays, you can just deposit in USDE on Ethereum, just earn your 10-15% if the market is good, 7-8% if the market is bad. You can just be satisfied with that. But you may be not satisfied with that. After all, like 7-8% is only a few points higher than USD bills. So why are you even taking the risk? You may think that this is worth it because you have to deploy dozens and dozens of millions or hundreds of millions in capital. So those 3% more makes it worth it for you. But what if you don't have hundreds of millions to deploy? And what if you want just a higher yield? And this is essentially where we come. Shift started essentially focused on our core product, which was delta neutral yield automation, essentially arbitraging between funding farming on different venues. Again, using Ethereum as a comparison is a good example.
Wait just a second,
yes.
Because I already know what people will ask me. what
Yes.
is delta neutral? So
Okay.
could you
Sure.
explain me, as I am 3 years old, please?
Yes.
Because I know actually, but I know that is one of the main strategy you have, and is
Yes.
great. You are one of the best people I know with delta that use delta neutral strategies over the years. But I want you to help me to explain to our
Yes.
users.
Perfect. So, what is delta neutral? Delta neutral is a very complicated word that means something very simple. You're not exposed to the market. So if Bitcoin goes up, if Bitcoin goes down, it doesn't matter to you because you're neutral. You just earn your yield. How is this achieved? This is achieved by having two mirrored positions. On one side, you're long BTC, and on one side, you're short BTC. So essentially, if BTC goes down, you earn on your short, and if BTC goes up, you earn on your long. So the next question is, well, but if I am delta neutral, then how am I earning money? You're not earning money from market movements. You're earning money from the arbitraging and the funding rate. So what is the funding rate then? The funding rate is essentially a rate that you can get paid or that you pay to have positions open on perpetuals. So on a perpetual position, you have either to pay a funding rate or you receive a funding rate. This depends on whether the price of the derivative is higher or lower than the rate. Essentially, we could say, simplifying it, if there are more people longing, longs will pay a funding fee to shorts. If there are more people shorting, shorts will pay a funding fee to long. Generally speaking...
Thank you so much for explaining this. I'm sure that a lot of people will be happy with that. So now you wanted to explain how Shift want to leverage on this opportunity of the market, right?
Yes, exactly. So essentially, we are doing a similar thing, or at least our core product is this delta yield. So what we do is essentially similar. We take two different markets with two different funding rates. We go long on one side, we go short on another side, and we capture the funding difference. On one side, we get paid too short. On another side, we get paid too long. Or anyway, we capture the difference. So it's possible that we pay on one side and get paid on the other side. As long as the difference is positive, we earn money, essentially. We are not the first one to do this. Like I said, this is very similar to the design of Etina, but at the same time, we are doing it a little bit differently. Why are we doing it differently? First of all, because we are not essentially aiming to become the next Etina, but we are chasing more niche opportunities. So we are leveraging new markets. For example, Paradex extended maybe to derivatives platforms that some viewers may be familiar with or maybe not. Anyway, they are two of the alternative, let's say, perp dexes that are getting more traction in the latest months. And we're not going to aim for the strategies based on being able to deposit 10 billions for 5% returns, but we are aiming for the strategies that are allowing us to deposit tens of millions, not billions, for a way higher return. Essentially, one very easy comparison that we use to explain our perspective is we're not trying to build the new Berkshire or the new Etina, but we are aiming to be the Medallion Fund. For who's not familiar with the Medallion Fund, it's basically a very small fund that has very capped deposits and that over the year returned insane returns to its depositors because it's targeting these very niche opportunities that they can only deploy so much size in it. So they, rather than keep growing the funds, they keep the focus on these niche, very high yield opportunities, and they stay small and lean, let's say.
So let me ask you a question, because maybe no one knows what Paradex and Extend are.
Yes.
So there are maybe say some new perpetual DEX, right? And they are good for yield because the volume are low, because the volume are high, because there are not so much money on that, so you can put some million and still earn a lot. Or there are also other opportunities like airdrops.
Yes, correct. So, well, first of all, let's say that the Paradox and Extended are where we are starting from, and these are the teams we have the best relationship with. But we are also already expanding to other perplexes. We plan to integrate essentially all of them to go wherever the opportunities are. We will be there. Aside from the fact that these more niche new perplexes have more volatile funding rates, so this allows us to essentially have more profitable strategies. But not only that, all of these perplexes also do not have token. They have a point season, they have airdrop essentially ongoing. So this will be another essentially revenue venue that we will capture by leveraging their platforms. And all of what we are capturing through this through our strategies get back to our users. We are not retaining any airdrop from the users.
Wow! Why
Yeah,
this? So I think it's not. It's too good to be true.
Well, our business is mostly in the management fees and the performance fees that we are getting from the deposit. We think that there is no point in keeping too much from more from the user than we have to be honest. The strategies will be already capped. We will already have our internal capital deployed in. There is no reason to be too greedy about it.
Okay, so let me say if I'm understood well, you want to make your user rich.
Yes, that's the intention. Rich users means happy users, means a lot of good things for us.
Well, I think it's also a good marketing strategy.
Exactly.
If your users earn a lot from their money on your protocol, they will tell their friends and so on. So it's a very good marketing instead of some random cities that bring people just to.
Exactly. Yes, we totally do not believe in paid marketing type of things. We're already seeing like the disaster that Kaito is already becoming. All of our Twitter feeds are completely invaded by AI slop, by mindless shilling. Some people may say that any marketing is good marketing. And I may agree with that, but at a certain point, when especially you are talking about yield products, the main marketing tool should be the numbers. If you have good numbers, people will come, regardless of the marketing, and you will not have to waste money on the shillers that have questionable returns in terms of marketing strategies.
So let's speaking about the numbers.
Yes.
So you were saying that with Ethena, you can have up to 15% in a good month.
Yes, right now I think it's maybe it's 12% or something, and this has been unquestionably a good month. So what about us? In our core strategy, in our testing, we were able to get essentially, as you see in this picture, actually this picture may be more relevant. In our testing period, we got 61.6%. Now, keep in mind that this was not a period where the market was particularly hot, although it was a volatile period, which is what we are looking for. It was also a period where there were new perplexes popping up, so this helped us a lot. We do not expect for this to be the normality. However, we are targeting a way higher return than Ethena, and as far as our returns will be like twice or 2.5 times Ethena return, we will consider ourselves happy with the strategies.
Wow, it's amazing. Believe me, when I first read this document that you sent me, I believe, okay, maybe there is something wrong. Maybe there is, maybe this is not more than 60%. Maybe this, I don't know, mistake is 20, 25, but 60 is wow. As I said,
it was a
too
very
good to be true. I think this percentage is without counting any drop.
This is absolutely without counting any airdrops. This specific percentage, though, is the delta neutral percentage. We also keep or plan to keep a liquidity buffer on the side to satisfy users' withdrawals. So this kind of brings a little bit down the final APR. As you may see in this different picture that takes this into account, our final yield for the same period was 52.8%. Because we keep a liquidity buffer. Yeah, it's still great. Again, past returns are not guarantee of future performance, etc., etc. We do not expect to be able to sustain this on a higher scale. And for the whole year, there are good periods, bad periods, but we are very satisfied and we're very confident in our strategies. This was the result of months of iterating through different strategies, trial and error, understand what's going wrong, what's going good, and a lot of testing, let's say.
Yeah, I can understand.
Another thing that I may had, unless I'm getting ahead of myself, is that while we were building all of this, we had to deal with a lot of new protocols, which means lack of infrastructure, harder to integrate, which means that we had to build everything from our side. Bridging infrastructure, automated deposit, rebalancing, this was a hell of a work. So this kind of brought us this kind of brought us to the next step, which is we started from focusing only on the delta neutral, but the whole infrastructure that we built is essentially shaping up as a series of products that can be standalone by themselves. I will just do a quick example. Let me see if I can find the right.
Let me say that it could be a confidential question because
yes,
you're known for delta neutral strategies, but now there is something more. Yes,
because actually this is the first time we speak publicly about this. Our investors already obviously know about this, but this is the first time that we talk publicly about it. So one small example, all of these perplexes, all of these protocols have vaults that users can deposit from, and these vaults provide the liquidity to the whole exchange. Maybe people are familiar with Hyperliquid, how it works. Essentially, it's the same for every other perplex. There is a vault that does market making for the exchange, allowing us and other users to have the liquidity to trade. So one example is once we started interacting and doing the infrastructure to integrate all of these perplexes, then we asked ourselves, but since we have this already, can't we even build something that will allow users not only to deposit automatically in this vault without having to go through deposit in the exchange, etc., but also that will allow them to stay liquid while doing this? Here comes the idea of the liquid token suite that we are launching. This may actually go live even before the delta neutral strategy, because the delta neutral strategy requires a lot of testing. It requires to be good to go with all this paperwork and everything. So it requires a little bit of, let's say, tweaking work on a lot of sides.
Yeah, because you need to leverage the risks.
Exactly. So, you need to contain the risk. You need to automate all the risk management. You need to be 100% sure.
Yeah, also because the funding rate changes every few hours.
Exactly. So, every few hours or continuously. Yes.
You have to rebalance and changing protocols, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, exactly.
Working with API.
Exactly. So it's a very tough business, and that's the reason why there are a lot of people trying to build on this, but not everybody. I don't want to badmouth competitors, but everybody's trying their best. It's a very tough business.
Okay, so just one second, as I already interrupt you. Here, I have. I want to show you what I'm doing here. So here I have the chopped garlic with the magic powder. It is not what you think about, guys. And here I have our olive oil, extra virgin, that is smelling a lot. So now I'm going to add some soy sauce here, not that much. Then I'm also going to take 1 spoon because I forgot it. Sorry, guys. Sometimes happen. Me always to forget tools. So now I mix slightly, and then I will put the olive oil inside of it. So the garlic will boil.
Oh, very.
Okay.
I'm already getting hungry. It's almost dinner time here.
Yeah, I'm sorry you cannot smell it because it's amazing. But this is a typical Shanghainese sauce. So maybe you had the opportunity to try it during your trips.
That's a very good
Okay.
question. Did I try it? The color looks familiar.
So it's garlic. Someone used to add also some soy, some oyster sauce. I didn't. Or some sugar. I didn't because I don't like too much things with too much sugar. That is maybe. And here I prepare the meat. So see, the meat is with a generous portion of fat that we will use for cooking. I cut slightly in order to allow heat to penetrate and to slightly cook because I want crunchy on the outside and almost raw on the inside as the tataki. And now I'm heating the pan, so I will cook it. I also prepared some dried tomato. I also have a fresh basil, so our dish will be delicious. So coming back to us, I have one question.
Yes.
Because you are with your beautiful Shizu punk image, so we don't
Yes.
see you. I call you GG.
Yes.
Actually, I met you in person. I know you personally, but you are pseudonymous.
Yes,
So you're a team member,
Yes.
and yet deeply connected into the DeFi scene because you are a CT, well recognized. You have a track record of your work. How do you build trust while staying anonymous?
Sorry, I lost you for a second.
Okay. I was thinking that the question was too tough. So I'm saying you are pseudonymous.
Yes.
So
Yes.
how do you build trust staying anonymous?
Yes, it's not that easy, especially given the nature of our protocol. It involves a lot of trust, that's for sure. Ultimately, we think that although we are pseudonymous, as you said, and we are not, we are pseudonymous to the public. Our investors mostly know our identity, or at least the one that they want, if they want to know. Otherwise, there is
Also,
no problem.
Ghost want to know. If you listen to him, he's yelling, ciao, ciao.
But ultimately, we think that we are gonna leverage the opportunities that this industry offer to stay pseudonymous as it is possible. Ultimately, we think that due to the nature of the what we are building, we will have to publicly disclose our identities. But we are okay with that. We think that in this phase, being able to just focus on building the product without having to do it publicly will allow us to just focus on what's more important. And as far as being pseudonymous, the trust is built by doing audits, by being straightforward about what the product is, by being present, And we're not the first team that is fully pseudonymous. We're not the first team that managed to build to very high TVLs while saying so. The key for all these products, I've had already the experience in all the products that I worked with. We mentioned at the beginning of the episode, AutoShark, Meter, etc.
But also, let me say, Pancake team
yes,
is
Pancake,
still anonymous.
GMX. Athena is partially public, I would say. But essentially, this is an industry where you can be pseudonymous and build trustful facts and track record. And this is what we're looking for. If ultimately we will have to disclose publicly our identity, we will do so. We have nothing to hide on the side.
Let me say also, because we are in DeFi, so let me say code is low.
Yes.
So basically, people can trust not in you because you are you, but because you are developing a good code that actually works well. Or not? I hope you lost me.
Yeah. Yes. So code is low, and also I think it's also an industry where there are a series of personal risks. We hear about it every day, unfortunately, especially in some European countries or some Southeast Asia countries. So I think that the balance between being open up about identity with investors and with relevant actors, while being pseudonymous publicly, is a good balance in terms of personal security. And this is something that everybody that is building this industry should also be very aware of, because unfortunately we live in a complicated world. So
yes, absolutely. Also for personal security, of course.
Yeah,
I think it's mostly for this.
yes, we all heard, I think, recently about Brian Armstrong security measures, the CEO of Coinbase. He has a metal detector through which all of his Amazon boxes and everything have to go through before entering his house. The other day, somebody left a suspicious package, and he was called. His security detail had to reach him. All stuff like this. Obviously, we are not Brian Armstrong. We are not Coinbase, but it's a complicated world.
Yeah, absolutely. Changing the subject, you explained a little bit about what Shift will be.
Yes.
And I can see that there are a lot of details, or let me say an obsession for details.
Yes, when you work with Yield, being very detail-oriented is very important, because if you forget about some details, this is probably going to impact your performance. I would say that as far as Shift is concerned, we are thinking about. I was still thinking about personal security. The Shield came. So as far as Shift is concerned, what will Shift become? We have two main directions that are bringing us to the same outcome. First of all is the one that I mentioned before, the infrastructure that we have built so far and that we will keep building, allow us to actually turn all of this effort into standalone projects on the side of the core Delta Network projects. The second direction is connected to the fact that right now there are these yield opportunities. There have always been good yield opportunities, but this doesn't mean that there will always be good yield opportunities, or they may change in nature. They may become more competitive. This is very likely. So essentially, alpha may decay over time. You can either find new alpha or you can do new things. So the direction of Shift is essentially using the platform that we are building to build something more broad and more complex, essentially a whole yield platform that will work in multiple directions, not only Delta Network. And one of the first directions that we are undertaking is the one of the liquid tokens here. So the vaults that I was speaking about before, there are market-making vaults that are native to each Perp protocol. Users can deposit the funds and participate in essentially the returns of these market-making activities. However, users depositing have to go through the protocol. They have to lock in their liquidity. They cannot withdraw it. There are lockup limits. They have to go for bridging, etc., etc. They cannot utilize these positions in DeFi, for example, and this is where we come about. Essentially, we will build the infrastructure that will allow our users to simply deposit on Shift and participate in the yields of these various market-making vaults, while earning both the yield and the airdrops connected to them. And all of this while receiving a liquid receipt. Like we could say that SUSDE, for example, is a good example of this in itself. But also there are a lot of protocols building similar things for Hyperliquid specifically. Or again, we could think about simply like Lido ETH. At the end is staked ETH, but liquid, essentially. So we are basically doing the same for the market-making vault of perp dexes, starting again from extended and Pardex.
Wow, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Then,
wow. Then I want to ask you one question while I'm finishing our dishes. As you see, I've cooked our meat and I'm going to prepare the dish. So I know that you will have a token. Actually,
Yes.
your funding round is live.
Yes.
So what kind of bakers are you looking for? Why is important also to keep your shift cap table aligned with your ethos?
Yes, essentially right now we are running our first funding round. Actually, it's about to close. We almost hit the full cap. We are planning to close everything towards the end of the month. Essentially, this is a funding, early funding round, so it's a pre-seed. We could also say angel round. We are aiming at we are involving three type of people. Team members of aligned protocols, so protocols that we are working with. Here I cannot really make names, but essentially we want the people that we are working with to be fully involved with us, and that's what we are pursuing. Because these people will be the people that have the most aligned interest with our interest. Second, we are looking for big users of this type of yield protocols, of stablecoin protocols. So we are involving people on this side. And again, people that generally can help us with networking or with partnerships that may be useful in the future. Oh wow, that looks fantastic.
Great. I didn't want to interrupt you.
But that deserves a comment. So we're involving this type of people, and it's a small round. It's a low valuation round. We are doing this mostly for the connections and the benefits, as we think that all angel rounds should be. Angel rounds should never be about the capital. The capital you raise from this type of rounds is not much. You often do not need it. You can keep running things with the capital that you had before. But what you really gain from this round is the connections. That's why generally the terms of these rounds are so good. We saw some examples on Echo, for example, but in general, everybody who's somewhat familiar with angel rounds will know that the allowed size is pretty small. So it's like some thousands, not very high each.
Yeah.
And this is because the protocols aim to hit a maximum number of useful angel to onboard. It's not really about the capital. Although the capital will always be used to like pay for stuff like audits, new hirings, etc., etc. It's not like we will leave it to rot away. And it's not like it's not useful at all, obviously. That would be hypocrite to say. But the biggest win from the angel rounds is the connections and the value that we get from the angels. We already onboarded several. We have some connections with some centralized exchanges, some even tier 1/2 centralized exchanges. We have some power DeFi users. We have some big KOLs. We have some aligned team members on board.
Great. That's great. Are you planning to do also another round for normal people or what?
So we are thinking about how to structure the future funding rounds. The main thing that we're thinking about is that we are not really planning to do an ICO or anything like that. First of all, because as a lot of people may know, this is kind of problematic on a regulatory perspective. But second, because also we plan to stay like a lean protocol, so we don't need too much external capital, even in terms of funding. We are well funded ourselves. We don't need to collect too much from retails. We would rather have people deposit in the protocol, use it for themselves, even earn yield in the process, rather than committing through a token sale. We are planning to do several, or at least one more funding round that will be more open than the current one. It will be a more like institutional oriented type of funding round, where we will try to involve some maybe more institutions rather than angels. And we are considering doing it on Icho. We are in touch with some leaders of Icho groups. For who's not familiar with Icho, it's essentially an early stage funding platform founded by the famous Kobe, where people can have their own groups where they can propose deals to the member of our groups. Of their groups. So essentially, we will interact with the group leader only, and the group leader will allocate the distribution to their group.
Wow, amazing! And that's your dish.
That's fantastic. I wish I could hate it.
Maybe you can do it at home.
Yes.
Watching again this episode.
Yeah, we'll watch the episode and focus on the cooking and replicate it at home.
I
send you the final results, the shameful final results.
Yes, I'm very sorry, but I have to try this dish. Someone has to do it, so it's the worst part of the episode, eating. So while I'm trying this dish, is there anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to go into?
Yes, sure. So let me just add a few more words. I don't want to overcomplicate this for who's watching. But aside from this, as I said, our infrastructure that we already built, that we're building, will allow us to do more and more products. We already have several in the works. So here we have another one which will leverage pseudo delta neutral strategies on Vera chain. We're in close contact with their team. We're working this out as we speak. And there are many other to go. Essentially, everywhere there will be a good opportunity, we will try to be there. What is our business model? Well, Giorgio already anticipated this a little bit. So we will have management fees and performance fees that kind of resemble the one of funds. So 0 from 2% of management fee and 10 to 20% of performance fee, depending on how the strategy will be structured, how complicated it is, how much risk will need to be managed. The most simple strategies will have 0 management fee and 10% performance fee. The most complicated one, like the delta neutral one, will have a classic 220 type of strategy. We also have yes.
Let me say, it's not so much different from other platforms.
Yeah. This is pretty much your standard deal also when you go on Bifi, for example, and you deposit in an auto component vault. The performance fee are kind of similar. Itina has completely similar set of performance. Aside from the airdrops and the points that we already mentioned, we also have negative rebates. What does this mean? Negative rebates essentially means that every time you trade on a perpetual venue, you earn money instead of paying fees. How is that possible? It's possible because these platforms want to have volume. So if you do a lot of volumes, you will receive negative rebates as a maker instead of a taker when you trade on their platform. And for us, it will also be possible, since we will bring a lot of activities to these platforms, to negotiate custom terms with them. This is already happening with some teams. So that will be another venue of revenues. Well, these are the terms of the round that we are currently running. Anyway, these you will be able to share with anybody who is interested. But essentially, I will just leave this here. As you may see, it's a very small valuation compared to our competitors that I have in page here. As you can see, the valuation of other protocols doing the same things is many multiples over. Even taking the smallest one, they're already trading 10x over the current valuation that we're raising at. This is because this is a very small round, again, targeted to strategic individuals rather than the public. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible, or it would be very unsavvy from us to do such valuation. We have a very packed roadmap. We are in our phase 2 right now. We plan to open up to deposits. We plan to finish all the integrations, to launch several projects. Again, this roadmap will be available on our documentation, so I don't want to add too much material to the episode, but there is a lot we're working on, really a lot.
Yeah, we will put all the useful link in the description. So
yes. What does this leave us with? Well, essentially, right now our contracts are undergoing the audit. Actually, we are done with the audit. We are applying the suggested changes that our auditors suggested us. And soon, then we will be able to open up the few first projects to external deposits. Initially, some of them will be capped because we focus. This is kind of like our marketing strategy, right? So we plan to make the numbers speak for themselves and create a little bit of interest in depositing in the protocol before it will be fully open to the public. Other strategies that do not have a issue with scaling, for example, the liquid tokens, will not have a cap.
Great. That's great. So what can I say? Take my money.
With pleasure.
I really can't wait. You open deposits. So I will have some less thinking about how to make yield without get too many risks to get scammed. So really thank you for this project, and thank you for being here. So guys, we are at the end of the episode. I hope you like it. You will find every useful link in the description. So see you next time, and buon appetito.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Giorgio, for hosting us.
Da da da